What religion is? Chokrua, 1897. Dear Godkin, thanks for your kind note in Uri. Will to believe. I suppose you expect as little a reply to it as I expected one from you to the book. But since you ask what I do mean by religion, and add that until I define that word my essay cannot be effective, I can't forbear sending you a word to clear up that point. I mean by religion for a man anything that for him is a live hypothesis of that line, although it may be a dead one for anyone else. And what I try to show is that whether the man believes, disbelieves, or doubts his hypothesis, the moment he does either on principle and methodically, he runs a risk of one sort or the other from his own point of view. There is no escaping the risk. Why not then admit that one's human function is to run it? By settling down on that basis and respecting each other's choice of risk to run, it seems to me that we should be in a clearer headed condition than we now are in, postulating as most of us religion is. Postulating as most all of us do a rational certitude which doesn't exist, and disowning the semi-voluntary mental action by which we continue in our own severely characteristic attitudes of belief. Since our willing natures are active here, why not face squarely the fact without humbug and get the benefits of the admission? Religious belief and national idiosyncrasy. Cambridge, April 8, 1871. So the gallant Gauls are shooting each other again. I wish we knew what it all meant. From the apparent generality of the movement in Paris, it seems as if it must be something more dignified than it at first appeared. But can anything great be expected now from a nation between the two factions of which there is such hopeless enmity and mistrust as between the religious and the revolutionary parties in France? No mediation is possible between them. In England, America, and Germany, a regular advance is possible because each man confides in his brothers. However great the superficial differences of opinion, there is at bottom, postulating as most all of us do, there is at bottom a trust in the power of the deep forces of human nature to work out their salvation, and the minority is contented to bide its time. But in France, nothing of the sort. No one feels secured against what he considers evil by any guarantee but force, and if his opponents get uppermost, he thinks all is lost forever. How much Catholic education is necessary? How much Catholic education is to answer for this, and how much national idiosyncrasy? It is hard to say, but I am inclined to think the latter is a large factor. The want of true sympathy in the French character, their love of external and mechanical order, their satisfaction in police regulation, the everlasting cry of traitor, all point to it. But on the other hand, Protestantism would seem to have a good deal to do with the fundamental cohesiveness of society in the countries of Germanic blood. For what may be called the Revolutionary Party there is developed through insensible grades of rationalism out of the old orthodox conceptions, religious and social. Of human nature to work. The process has been a continuous modification of positive belief, and the extremes, even if they had no respect for each other and no desire for mutual accommodation, which I think at bottom they have, would yet be kept from cutting each other's throats by the intermediate links. But in France, belief and denial are separated by a chasm. The step once made, écrasez les infames, is the only watchword on each side. How any order is possible except by a Caesar to hold the balance it is hard to see. Science and the struggle among religious beliefs. I quite agree that what mankind most lacks is criticism and caution, not faith. Its cardinal weakness is to let belief follow recklessly upon lively conception, especially when the conception has instinctive liking at its back. I admit then that were I addressing the Salvation Army or a miscellaneous popular crowd, it would be a misuse of opportunity to preach the liberty of believing as I have in these pages preached it. What such audiences most need is that their faith. The process has been a continued.